So there may be someone who's interested in maxing their own nut, or suggesting that someone else maximize their nut, or want to cum bigger loads, or be the recipient of a cummed bigger load.
Sure.
So what would your advice be to, not even getting into the specifics of to potential safety of supplements, or whether or not you should do supplements, whether or not you should do one of the many other techniques you may find on r/cum bigger loads, in terms of diet and exercise and things like that. What would your advice be to just opening the line of dialogue, having the conversation to someone who is interested in bringing this up? Because I feel like this would be a difficult thing to bring up. This would feel awkward, as most of these conversations do. So what would your advice be to someone to open up that conversation? Like, if they're with someone and the person finishes, do you go like, is that it?
Let's not do that.
That all you got?
Right. So, well, I think, first of all, you highlighted the reality that for many people, most of the time, these conversations feel awkward. They feel uncertain about how to talk about them, or what to say, or how to bring it up, or when to bring it up. And like, one piece of advice that I think is really essential across the board for like any conversation about sex is don't have it during sex. And generally speaking, your bed is for two things: sleep and sex. That's it. Just those two things, which, all of us are looking at each other going, we may or may not have our phone in bed with us. We may or may not have a TV in the bedroom. All those things. Well, what I'm saying, that's a different conversation that we could definitely have. But what I'm saying in this moment really is, don't have that conversation in the same place that is meant to be like a peaceful, enjoyable, pleasurable space for you. It's very safe. It's very like, it should be treated as a sanctuary. That's not the place to have a conversation necessarily. Generally speaking, like, come out into your living room, sit in your car. Don't sit in the car. Just because then you're kind of trapped in there if you're driving somewhere, and if you need to like push pause because the conversation gets heated, you don't have that ability. So like, nowhere where you're trapped.
Like, don't have it on a boat.
Right.
Because of the implications.
But like, have a comfortable space, make sure that you have time, right? I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about, because they want the conversation to be over. They want to be on the other side of it. So they're not thinking about the fact that like, it doesn't have to be a one-time conversation. You don't have to get it all out. No pun intended. You don't have to get it all out all at once. You can kind of have it piecemeal. You can take breaks. But so that kind of setup of it is like, have time, be relaxed. There's not a perfect time, but there are wrong times, right? So like, don't have it when you're super tired. Don't have it like after a really difficult day at work. Like, find some space in your life, or manufacture some space in your life if you're struggling to find it. From there, I think a big part of it is just, it's practice. It takes practice to talk about this stuff. I talk about this stuff with ease because I went to school for it, and because I do it every day as my job. But when you're talking with a partner, like, acknowledge the vulnerability of it. That's a big piece of what many of us don't do, is we want it to be easy, but we're being vulnerable. We're asking for something that we like. We're expressing a curiosity in a space, specifically that space of sexuality, that socially we're told we're not supposed to be curious. We're told we're already supposed to know what to do. We aren't supposed to talk about it. We aren't supposed to explore or get creative. And so when we're coming to this conversation, we're going against all those rules.
Coming to this conversation.
No pun intended. And so, like, acknowledging the discomfort and acknowledging the vulnerability, being able to say to somebody like, hey, this is I feel awkward bringing this up, but I'd really like a couple minutes to talk about something that I read on the internet. And just kind of from the jump, setting like the understanding that there's discomfort there, and you feel scared or uncomfortable and unsure, and that's okay. And acknowledging that that's part of the conversation makes the conversation easier.
I love it.
Yeah.
So that's how you have the come bigger loads conversation. And that's our episode on nutmaxing. I think that we've maximized the nutmaxing conversation.
It's a pretty maximized conversation.
Yeah.
I think, I do want to say, if you're interested in nutmaxing, generally speaking, one of my recommendations is always going to be get a checkup, have a conversation with your doctor about supplements you're considering taking, and, maybe have a conversation with a sex therapist about why you want to maximize your nut. It could be awesome for you. It could be a really great, addition to your sexual repertoire, but it could maybe also be connected to some things that are interfering with, for you, like your enjoyment of your sex life. And a great place to work through those obstacles is with a sex therapist.